We got in the car about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, drove up to Seaver Street, either Seavers or Ramsey Street. They're right next to each other in Dallas, Texas, in the Oak Cliff section. Jesse gets out of the car, and we walk to the door. It's the door of a high school football player named Kenneth Florence, introduced him at pastor school last year. Kenneth Florence, a big guy, played tackle on the W.H. Adamson High School football team. I weighed 92 pounds. He probably weighed a couple of 100 pounds. And Jesse was about 5 foot 5 inches tall. Little bitty guy. He was a middle-aged, a little over middle-aged, a man, and a wonderful, wonderful deacon, wonderful Christian. And Kenneth came to the door, and he looked down at me and down at Jesse, and he said, "Can I help you, please?" And Jesse said, "Kenneth Florence, my name is Jesse Cobb." He said, "This is Jack Hyles." I generated all the extroversion I could and said, Jesse said, "Kenneth, Jack here wants to say a few words to you." No, Jack didn't. Jesse's a liar. Jack didn't want to say anything to anybody. Now, I don't know what it said. Jesse told me this. If this is not true, it's Jesse's fault because I blacked out. Jesse said, I said, Kenneth, would you come to church tonight? And Jesse said, Kenneth said, "Yes, I would." And Jesse said, I said, "You would." And Jesse said, Kenneth said, "Yes, I would." And Jesse said, I said, we'll come by and get you. I'll come by. I'll come by and get you at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, I borrowed Jesse's car. Went by and got that football player and put him in my car, scared to death, absolutely scared to death, because I knew that God had given me a soul I had to win, and I didn't know where to start. We got to church. We sat on the second row from the back, right back there, second row from the back. Now, don't look back there. It wasn't in this building, dumb bunny. You know what this crowd, you folks are all plain old idiots. That's what you are. You're crazy. I mean, the lights are on, but nobody's at home. Cheese is falling out of your sandwich. The elevator didn't go to the top floor. We sat back on the second row from the back. Everybody look back there, right back there. That's right. That's it. And so, Hillcrest Baptist Church building seats about 1,000 people. I don't know what the preacher said because I knew I had a soul I had to win. Preacher finished the sermon, gave the invitation. I put my arm around Kenneth and looked up at him. I said, Kenneth, would you like to be saved? He said, "Yes, I would." I said, "You would?" He said, "Yes, I would." I said, "You come with me. I don't know what to tell you to do, but the pastor will." We walked down the center aisle, that aisle right there. Look at it now. It's that aisle right there. That's it. We came down the center aisle. Pastor met us right there at the altar. Look at the altar. He's right there. And Brother Sizemore said, "Jack, what can I do for you?" I said, "Brother Sizemore, this Kenneth Florence. He wants to be saved." And I went back to sit down, and I dusted my hands off like that and said, "Boy, my job's over." And the pastor said, "Hold it, Jack." He said, "Kenneth, Jack wants to tell you how to be saved. He's a bigger liar than Jesse Cobb." I knelt right there. Looky there, right there. That's right, right there. Where the ugly guy's sitting on the end. That's right. And the uglier guy sitting right beside him. "Hello, ma'am, you're next. I'm too nice." And we knelt right there. And I looked up at that big old football player and I said, "Kenneth, I don't know how to tell you." He said, "Don't need you to tell me." He said, "I've had a soul winner by to see me every Sunday for months, and every one of them has told me how to be saved. I know what to do." I said, "Then Do it. Bless God, Kenneth began to pray. And he knew what to pray. He said, Dear God, I'm a sinner. I thank you that all I need to know is somebody loved me, and I believe old Jack here loves me. And he said, and I have mercy on my soul and save me, and I now trust Jesus as my Savior, and bless your little pea-picking heart. The fireworks of heaven turn loose in my soul. I want you to know the sparklers began to sparkle, and the firecrackers went off, and the Roman candles filled the sky, and glory to God, I jumped up off my knees. I said, good night. This guy was going to hell, and now he's going to heaven. He was going to burn the fires of torment. Now he's going to walk down golden streets forever. I said, bless God. I walked back up to my preacher, and I said, Brother Sizemore, would it be okay with you if I just did this all the time from now on? After they poured cold water on the pastor's face, woke him up for the shock of somebody wanting to do it all the time. The next 7 days, listen to me, little thumb-sucking Jackie Boy Hyles, little introvert, 92-pound Jackie Boy Hyles, little Jackie Boy Hyles that flunked public speaking, little introverted, shy, poor Jackie Boy Hyles, 14 years old before he ever owned a pair of shoes of his own, 14 years old before he ever ate an egg, 14 years old before he ever ate a hamburger, didn't see an indoor toilet in the house till he was 14 years of age. Little Jackie Boy Hyles, the next 7 days, we had a revival. 37 people walked the aisle of Hillcrest Baptist Church in those 7 days. And God set something going in my soul, something burning on the inside. I've got to be a soul winner. I can't help it. I've got to lead folks to Christ. I can't help it. I'm saying there is a call from within. And you listen to me well right now. That's all the call you need. Well, do you feel called to preach? Well, do it and ask God when you get to heaven if it's okay. It's time some of you rascals lit a fire to your dreams of making money. And you walk inside the pastor's study and say, but I just don't feel called to preach. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Well, preach anyhow. If you don't want a pastor, get you a tent and preach in a tent somewhere. Build you a brush arbor. When I was a kid preacher, I went all over this East Texas area preaching on country roads. I'd get me a fella could play the accordion, and I'd go all over these. I'm talking about Big Spring. I'm not Big Spring, Spring Hill. I'm talking about Gladewater. I'm talking about Big Sandy. I'm talking about Harleton. I'm talking about Hallsville. I'm talking about Wascom. I'm talking about Tatum. I'm talking about all these little towns around here. I'd go out in the woods and build me a brush arbor and get me a guy who could play the accordion. I'd go from house to house, say, we're going to have an accordion recital and preaching tonight. And bless God, that's before the box was invented. Nobody had a television set in those days, and most folks couldn't afford a radio. And I'd preach in these campaigns around here, little old revival. You say, who's sponsoring you? Jesus is sponsoring me. That's who. And God never struck me with lightning because I wasn't called. I'm saying God gave me a call from within. America's going to hell while you sit there and say, I don't feel a call. Oh, shut up.